Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are joining me, this is Pastor Lysandra Brooks, aka your girl Lala, the Queen of Conquering, coming on this morning just to encourage us, get us through our week. But I also want to call your attention to something. We're going to talk about real brief Proverbs, the 10th chapter, and the 22nd verse. It says, the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and add no sorrow with it. Like, tag, and share. The blessings of the Lord maketh rich and he addeth no sorrow with it. So I want to for us to be mindful of our blessings. When I say mindful of our blessings, need to be mindful of where our blessings come from, because the enemy can come and disguise a thing to look like it's a blessing from God when actually it is not. This book is in Solomon is talking about wealth. And I tell people when they say, are you going to retire from the state? Are you going to do drop? Are you going to do this? You're going to do that? And I'll be like, all money ain't good money. So sometimes we have to think about our mental state. We have to think about those things that is going to be a blessing to us and not draw us in a place where it appears to be a blessing, but it causes us stress and distress. And we know that sorrow brings great distress. Sorrow brings great grief and depression upon a person. Sorrow is not a good place to be. It's a strain. It's a deep sorrow, deep sadness that we have. We're sorrowful and we don't want to get a thing thinking it's going to be a blessing, and then it causes us headache, heartache, depression, sadness, anger, frustration down the road. It may initially appear to be a blessing from God, but how many of you know that the Satan is the prince of the air, and he also is the one that gives the impressions of blessings as well, that it would appear that it's coming from God when it's actually coming from him. He's setting you up for the okey doke, because I promise you there is no good thing that dwells in the enemy. So there's no good things that dwell in the flesh. So Solomon here is saying being able to differentiate, being able to know the difference with the wealth that comes to you, the blessing that comes to you, where it comes from. Does it actually come from God? Does it indeed come from God, or does it come from another source? Does it come from a reliable source? Does it come from a source that you will be proud of to say that's who gave you the thing that you have, to bless you with your wealth, to bless you with your position, to bless you with your business, to bless you with your intellectual property, to bless you with different things in life? Who gave that to you? Who gave that to you to put you in that position? Do you know? So that's why I'm saying this morning to be mindful of our blessings, to be able to differentiate the blessings from God and where our wealth and where our benefits come from. Because the blessings of the Lord, it says it makes you rich in grace, rich in finances, rich spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, in every area of your life. It's enriching to you, maketh rich, and it adds no sorrow. It doesn't come with distress. It doesn't come with great pain. It doesn't come with great suffering. It doesn't come with frustration. The enemy sometimes can give us a thing and we think it's the best thing. We just know God blessed us with it. And then after a few weeks of getting it, having it, walking in it, living in it, talking with it, sleeping with it, entertaining it, working in it, all of this, and then you find out it's costing you more than what you wanted to pay. You thought you was getting an increase, but you find yourself spending more than you wanted to pay. You think it was being a blessing to you, but you cause yourself doing more to work at it, to keep it. It causes you stress. It causes you disappointment. It causes you to be in a place of misery. So we need to think about when we ask the Lord for certain things. And Pastor Jackie Harewood spoke on yesterday about Satan, of course, being the prince of the air. And a lot of times we get blessed things, or the waiting for the promise to come, and what God has promised us to come, and the thing to be delivered unto us. But Satan is the prince of the air. So when we ask things, there's such things as called monitoring spirits, monitoring spirits, eavesdropping spirits, spirits that are lurking to hear what you're saying, what you're asking for, what you're requesting. What are you saying with this? Because we are speaking spirits. So whenever we do ask God for a thing, we need to overlay that thing in prayer. We need to overlay it in the blood of Jesus Christ, that whatever you're asking and believing God for, covered in the blood, so the enemy cannot snatch that from you. The enemy cannot invade that, because the enemy cannot cross the bloodline. When you ask in faith and ask God for that thing, believing that you're going to have it, believing that you're going to receive it. Doubt not, trust him all of the way, and make sure whatever you ask him for, because I promise you, the monitoring, eavesdropping spirits are listening to your request. And in order for your request to come from a blessed place, from a place that you want them to come from, meaning from God, we need to make sure that we cover it in the blood. We keep it covered. We keep it saturated. We keep it moist in the blood of Jesus. Apply the blood to the situation and the request, and believe and trust God that you will have what you are requesting from the Lord. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Don't grow weary, don't go tired. Keep the hope, keep the faith, so you can remain in your peaceful place and get the very thing and the very desires of our heart that we're asking and believing God for. I love you guys. Have a phenomenal Monday. Until next time, bye-bye.